Hello friends, welcome to my channel. As per your request, today I will discuss some basic features of UiPath Studio. So let's see. Today's video content: why we need to use UiPath, UiPath platform basic view and instruction, overview of some basic component of UiPath like app integration system, UI automation, workflow, etc. Difference between sequence and flowchart. Some demo example for better understanding. And some advanced features. So this is UiPath Studio platform. This section is called design section. This is activity panel. This is property panel and this is variable panel. I will tell you the use of each panel. Before that, I am telling you how to create a project. Just you need to go this home page, then you will get this kind of view and you need to click process. Then like this project, you will get this design panel. So why we need to use UiPath? Basically, any kind of repetitive task you can do with the help of UiPath bot. This will reduce your manual effort and it will take very less time with the help of bot. Suppose you have 100 of data in an Excel file and you need to search one data, and that data you need to give user as an output. Or you are searching some keyword in any search engine and you want to store the 5 pages result in one Excel sheet. This type of work you can easily do with the help of UiPath Studio. I will give you some basic demo over here. So first we need to start. Here is the activity panel. You need to drag each activity over here. Like you have seen this drop activity here. So let's see what type of activities are available in this activity panel. So first option is app integration. 3 types of app is available: CSV, Excel and mail. Any kind of CSV or Excel or mail activities we need to search over here. Orchestrator is provided some kind of activities through which you can connect with web orchestrator from your project. Next is programming. The most important thing over this programming tab is data table. If you need to add or save any kind of bulk of data, you need this data table. And with the help of data table, you can do various kind of tasks. I will show you this later. Next is system. This is one of the important. From here you can close or open any kind of application. You can kill a process. You can start a process. From clipboard you can copy any selected text. Also you can save any text in the clipboard for temporary basis. With the help of dialog, here is all kind of dialog pop-ups are available like message box, input dialog, custom input. And with the help of select file and select folder, we can select some particular file or folder in this UiPath robot. So these are some basic activity we often need to use in our UiPath project. So for starting, we have two options like flowchart . So this left hand side, how the flowchart will work, and the right hand side, how the process will work. Basically, flowchart will work under some conditions. If the condition is yes, then it will process the second process. If the condition is no, it will go to the another process. Again, if it is facing any kind of condition, if the output of that condition is true, then it will execute again process 1. If the output is no, then it will stop. Means the system will stop. Basically, with the help of flowchart, we can create a loop like this. But where in the other scenario, process is working like a vertical manner. Like start process 1, then it will execute process 2, then it will execute process 3 and stop. So this is the basic difference between flowchart and a process. So at first I am dragging the flowchart over here. This is our start node. Then I am dragging a sequence. To connect this sequence with the flowchart start node, we just need to drag it like this and right click, set as start node, and it will be the start node. I am showing you one small example. Suppose we need to take some input, some keyword from user, and we need to search that keyword in this Flipkart search engine, and we will save that data related to that search in a Excel file. So at first step, so for this we need to take a input dialog. I am dragging this over here. This will be our start node. Double click of this input dialog. For each and every activity, we need to give some input and we will get some output from that activity. So this thing can be handled with the help of properties. So the properties panel is right hand side like this. Here we have some input options. So I just want to give title. So in title I have given please share your keyword. It will reflect like this, and the output result we need to store somewhere. For storing purpose, basically we need to use variables. So from where we can create variables, this is from here. This is the variable panel. From here we can create variable, we can assign variable type, scope and any default values. Just you need to click here. Suppose I have given variable name input user, variable type is obviously string, scope is flowchart and no default value. So I am assigning this input user variable in the properties panel. in the result output section I have to assign it. This one. So our result will be stored in inputs user. After that, we are going back to the flowchart. Now this keyword means with the help of this keyword we will search in Flipkart. So next what we need to do, we need to open browser. Double click. Insert URL here. Text must be quoted. After this, we need to type the particular keyword in this search panel. So any kind of activity which is associated with the typing, here we need to use type into. And here we need to indicate element inside browser. So just click this. So when you click something in the web, then it will come under the target selector option. Selector is nothing but the extraction of some web UI element with the help of recording. Basically, selector is used to identify any kind of web data or any kind of web tag, you can say. And if you type something, then you need to give this over here. Like we need to give here the keyword input user. So the error is gone. Due to some screen recording technical problem, I am unable to show you the output thing from here. So let's start another example. To read or write any data, we need to use Excel activity scope. Next, you need to give the workbook path of that Excel file. So I have given the location. Now here are several activities like read cell, read column, read range, and read row. And lastly, write cell. And write range. So what is the difference between in these activities? Read cell will read a particular data from a cell of the Excel sheet. So here we need to give the sheet name, that is sheet 1. For me, this is sheet 1. And here you need to give cell number. Suppose A2. So I am saving this data in an output variable, creating a new variable like previous method. And giving this variable result, output is here. And with the help of message box, we can view that output result directly. So let's see, I am running this. Before you run the bot, you need to close this Excel file. Otherwise it will give you error. You can run from here, like run file. And now in this message box, you can see the particular cell value. Read column will read the entire column. If you go to the properties panel, first you need to give this sheet name. After that, starting cell. Suppose my starting cell is A2. So I am giving here A2. And you need to save the result. As the result is not a single value, it will be an array of values. You need to use, so we have defined a variable store column, and variable type should be, you need to go browse the type if your type is not matching from this list. This is INM, this one. And from here you need to select object. Just click OK. And here you need to declare this variable. So far so well. Now we need to display this store column data. For this, we need to drag a for each loop. As it is an array of data, means it's a bunch of data. So we need to iterate through each item and display that data. Here the VB expression will be this output result variable store column. And I am just dragging a message box to show that data. Let's run the bot. John Doe, Samuel, Jennifer, Alex, Arijit, and so on. We are getting column data from this A column, that is name. Next is read range. Read range can read data from one column to another column. Means read range can read data from A column to F column at a once. If we have that kind of requirement where we need to take all the data, then we can use read range. Here also we need to give sheet name. And let's see the properties panel. And the range. For our case, range is from A to F. A2 from F6. So I am giving here this range like this manner. A2 colon F6. and here output data is form of data table. So for that we need to declare a data table over here. I am using same name. Just change this variable type. Browse the type and data table. So many option is there, but we need to take this system.data.data table. Okay. And here we need to declare it. Now for showing this data from data table, we can use for each. For data table, here is a special for each row. Similar like before, we need to iterate through this data table. And each row will come one by one. So in the message box, so with the help of getRowItem activity, we can separately display a specific column value from column name. So let's see getRowItem. Here the data row is row. As we are iterating in store column data table, and the output value we need to save it in a string. So string. So here I am assigning it, and again run it. Sorry, I have forgotten to give the column name. So in our Excel sheet, suppose we need to show the location column, then we need to give this column name over here. The other option is also available, like column index, the index of the whose value you want to retrieve, or the data column object. So I think this thing is easy for any new user. So next, run file. So I am getting this error, getRowItem column location does not belong to the table data table, as I have selected from A2 to F6, but my column header is from A1, so I need to give or change it from A1 to F6. Now I am running this again. To display result, here I have used message box. Quickly running it. It's giving first location. Like this. If you need any other column, then you just need to change this column name. Like if I mention here age, then it will pick only the age column. Oh, sorry, here value is not string. Here value is int. So I have to give this int variable. Here I have used value, not int, it is double, as I have given double value on the Excel sheet. So again running file. 35, 40, 28, 45, 30. Like this. Read row is similar to read column. Just we need to give the starting cell name and the output result. So with this method we can read some data from Excel file. Similarly, we can also write file with the help of write range. And write cell. Here similarly we need to give the range and the input value. In the write range, similar like read range, we need to mention here sheet name, starting cell and the input data table. We can create any kind of data table with the help of build data table. If you click this data table, it will give column 1, column 2 with some text value. You can change it, data type. Okay, and you need to give a data table variable. We have already created here. And in write range input data table, we have taken this store column, which I made from here. So let's run. Giving error, that is for each row, object reference not set to an instance of an object, system null reference exception. This type of exception is often come when you have not initialized any of your value. As I have taken this data table as a variable and initially we need to use here, so I have to initialize it, and I can initialize it from here like new data table. This is the process of initialization in UiPath. You need to initialize this variable from or any kind of variable in this default panel with the help of this new parameter. Now running this file. Checking it. See, as we have created two columns, this two column is displayed over here. So in my next video, there will also be some basic features in advanced features of UiPath, and the screen scraping remaining part I will discuss. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, then please subscribe my channel. I will definitely try to give my best and some useful topic video which will help you to integrate your UiPath project. Thank you.